when the question was asked, the very first person that came to mind is my mother-in-law, Lois Zinck. She passed away about 10 years ago. And I have to say, from the outside, she looked like she led this very simple, low-key life. But those who really knew her knew that she was a tornado of action. She had the unique ability and gift to love everyone that came in her path. But more importantly, she lived a life that said, it is better to give than to receive. So one of the things that I am most proud of her for is that she built and developed from the ground up a food pantry that is still in place in Anne Arundel County that now serves hundreds of families each and every week. And as at her funeral, one of the things that people talked about was all of the things that she had done that we really just had no idea. She had taken people to college who didn't have rides and who finished their degrees because of her. She had delivered meals to people that didn't have food. And so for me, she's somebody that really inspires me, and I try to do as much as she did, as much as I can. If I look back, I can remember from the time, my earliest memories, I loved numbers. So long before take your daughter to work was a thing, my father, who was an accountant, used to take me to work on the weekends. And he'd sit at his desk with his green bar column paper and his calculator. And he'd put me on another desk, and I would sit there and pretend that I was an accountant. And run numbers that didn't really make any sense at all. And so it's no surprise that I landed in college as an accounting major. So while in college, I was really very lucky in that I had an opportunity to do a number of internships. One was with a not-for-profit right here in Annapolis. And then I had a chance to do 2 different internships with 2 large public accounting firms, both E&Y and KPMG. And there I had a chance to see large publicly held companies and saw how they operate and compare and contrast. So it was nice, when I graduated from college, I had an opportunity to make a decision between private sector and the public sector, and I opted to go with the public sector and became an auditor at KPMG. And while there, it was an incredible experience that I still rely on today. I learned work paper documentation skills. I learned how to think critically as an accountant. I also passed the CPA exam, which was a big part of my career journey. And I'd say anybody out there who is interested in being a CPA, work hard, do it. It's worth it in the long run. I also made friendships with people there in public accounting that I still am friends with today. So those relationships are really, really important. Once I made the decision that work-life balance just wasn't where I needed to be, I ended up jumping into a large regional bank. And while there, I had an incredible mentor, and he gave me opportunities to really try and learn and do new things, piggyback off of the work that I had done in public accounting. Ultimately, when that finally, when that landed at its end, I found myself pausing in my career, trying to decide what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to use my accounting skills, but I also knew I wanted to serve. And as luck would have it, I found a position here at the state and working for the Comptroller's office. So I came in as a deputy director, and it has been an incredible journey here. I was fortunate enough to be able to combine both work and home, and at the same time serve and be a support system for many taxpayers across the state. And so that's certainly been an important part. Ultimately, and within the first year, I was promoted to director. And so I'm happy to say I'm here as the Director of General Accounting and very glad to be part of it, the group. Well, it's certainly a privilege to be here. And as the first female Director of General Accounting, I don't take that position lightly or that responsibility lightly. I think for me, the most important job I do is to make people feel valued on the team. Because without people, we really are nothing, right? So people, process, technologies has been the way I have led my career, in that people first, processes second, systems third. And so as we look every day when we come in here, our goal and our job is that as a team, we look to make the next day better than the day before. So we look for ways to position ourselves in the future, and whether that's technology or really just simply process re-engineering. We've undergone recently, over the last couple of years, a process where we have been formulating our leadership team and calling ourselves Team One. And I couldn't be any happier to be part of that team. We celebrate each other's successes, but we also work together when we are in a jam and have to help each other out. So I'm grateful for the camaraderie of the team. As I look at this, the one issue that I'm probably most passionate about is one of women's equal opportunity. And that comes from the volunteer work that I have done over the last several years. One of the things that I have been in touch with is a not-for-profit group called Hope for All. And Hope for All is located right here in Anne Arundel County, and it provides furniture and clothes and personal items and household goods to families and individuals in need. About 1,000 families a year, and it's in a warehouse close to 14,000 square feet. And essentially what happens is through referral services through the state, such as Department of Human Resources and other county services, women and their families who find themselves moving from homelessness to actually being provided county housing, find themselves with nothing. And when you walk into and you see what these women have, and you realize that some of the challenges is they only make, studies have said, 77 cents on the dollar for what men are making, and they cannot provide for themselves. And so I've been really grateful for the work that Hope for All is able to do, and I'm glad to be a small part of it. And when you see the emotional reaction when you are delivering beds for the first time, it's pretty powerful. So for that, my women's issue would be just equal opportunities, right? So that women can take care of their families.